Okay, welcome back to Feudums 4X strategy game, currently online only, developed by Kalamona Studios. We are going to show you how to expand into your second feudum. So we've been through quite a few turns just because obviously it's always online, so it's always active, and people got to sleep. So we're back at hometown. We had a second village just to help population. Population's now maxed. And we currently have unemployed population because we've got too many workers and not enough jobs. So we're going to build some mines. So we click the hill, go to the right, click construct improvement, and just build a mine. And on this hill we're going to build a quarry, so exactly the same, construct improvement, scroll down, click quarry, click confirm, and then send orders. We had our woodwards on, so we need to now change this back to woodcutters. So select the forest, go to labour designation on the right, click confirm, send that through. We're going to have to buy some wood in the meantime, so if you go to the top right, you've got 5 tabs for the resources. Just going to click timber. This will bring the market up. I'm going to click the plus sign next to timber. We're going to buy 1,000 worth of timber. Click confirm and send that order. So our first feudum is at max capacity, that's 8 hexes. So you've got a church, 2 hills, a farm, a village, our starting town, a forest and a sea tile. We're just in the middle of making more mines, but while we do that we can claim some territory on the right here. To create a second feudum you need 3 hexes together. So what we're going to do is we're going to plan to take these here. We'll take a sea tile as well. You do that by clicking the tile that you want, going to the right, click lay claim, and then select confirm. When you click lay claim, you need to click the area that you want to join the territory to. This could be waste ground, which means it's not a feudum yet, or it can be a feudum that you've already made. Click it and click confirm. And as usual, make sure you send the orders on the right. When you're claiming for your second feudum, you want to just plan it out ahead of time. So we've already got 2 hexes here, and we're going to claim these hills, so that's 4. We're going to claim a sea, that's 5. 2 forests, that's 7. And this grassland here is going to be our hometown, so that's 8. That's the most that we can have. At the moment we're going to skip one of these hills so we can get to the forests quicker. So we're going to just check the details of hometown. If you remember, you click once to select the top. So if we hold left click, that'll clear the selection. Click once and that will give us our unit overview. So there's no units there at the moment, so we don't need that. click again. That'll get us our Feudum overview, so that includes every single one of these claim tiles. So in here on the left, we're seeing all of the job slots from all 8 tiles, and then a rundown of the daily stats on there. So we've got food ration, tax rate, public health, morale, which is a combination of the major needs being just under here, social well-being, goods, public health and safety, and then in the middle bottom we've got local population, and again you just hover to get further details. And then on the bottom right is stability, which is mainly down to tax rate, morale, population levels and the size of the feudum. So generally there will be a maximum on a feudum size, and if we hover here next to hometown on the left, where there's a big red 8, it will tell us that a feudum that's larger than 6 will receive an administration penalty. Currently it's much better to go to maximum and just gain the extra resources and then take the hit on the demands, because they usually are worth it depending on which tile you've got. Also depending on your population, you could have just a 7 hex feudum with a single town. You'd have slightly lower resource generation, but your population would tend to be happier. Okay, so our feudum on the right is nearly ready. We just need 2 more claims, sorry. Because remember, we need a town to begin with. So if we look at the overview map, we can see that we got a choke point, a natural choke point on the left. That'll be good for defense later on. On the right, we've got a lot of difficult terrain, so trees and hills and river tiles take more movement to traverse. So when your units are travelling that way, they're going to be slower. It's also good for defense because forests and hills give an advantage to defending units. So if we click the tile, then on the left in the tile details, where there's a little hex, if you just hover over the title of the tile, so forest tile, you can see some details about attrition and as a battlefield. So once you get into combat automatic, but it's based on rank and file and priorities and movement speed and then attack types. But what you can't change is the phase lengths. So a forest tile, if you have skirmishing units, they only get 1 attack chance, whereas ranged units get 4 attack chances. Close combat get 3 attack chances. So it's always a good idea to defend in a forest. So for instance, if we were to get attacked this way, and we had defending units in this forest and this forest, we could pretty much ignore most skirmishing attackers just because they will only get a quarter of the attacks that they usually get. If we are to select this grassland here and then hover, we'll see that skirmishers get 3 attack phases and ranged only get 2. So this is a massive difference compared to forests. So if you're on the attack, you tend to want to be on grassland, and if you're on defense, you tend to want to be in forests or on hills. Another big difference is that grassland is wider, so that means you can get more units on your rank and file. So for instance, in grassland you can have 6 units wide, whereas in a forest it's only 4. So this really compounds the effectiveness of ranged units in a forest tile on defense. Okay, so we're just waiting a few more minutes to claim the lands that we need to expand. We've also fixed our wood income, so we purchased 600 wood, and we've also gone back to our starting territory and made sure that the forest tile is being worked for wood, timber. So right now we've got 35 woodcutters. So with these tiles there's a mutual exclusivity on which labourers can work it. You can't chop down trees and look after wild game, but you are free to change it, or queue up to change at least, as and when you need to. So forests are quite dynamic in the requirements they can fill, but you do need to remember that you can only have one job type per forest. So now that we've got our second feudum planned out in our head, so we're going to have these tiles along here, just so we can claim more forest. We're going to have a C tile for extra food and extra gold income. Our merchants will produce coins and social well-being, but they need goods to do it. So what we need to do is make sure that one of our forests is set to hunters, because hunters provide goods when they work the land, so it's 1 for 1. So when we have this tile, it's going to provide us 33 active jobs for hunters. We're going to click that, and that'll get us 33 goods, as well as all of the goods that we get from the town jobs. And then the C tile will have, we own it now, so we can't see the job, so we click on empty one. So the C tile will have up to 14 merchants, so they are going to require 14 goods a turn, which is about half a forest. So a forest can support 2 C tiles in terms of merchants, and this will get us, merchants will generate gold income on our town, which will help obviously our coffers. So we just need to wait 4 more minutes to get this tile here, and then we can build a village. Okay, it looks like our mine is up and active, so a quarry, sorry. So this tile here, so we need to ignore this label here because that's the label for the fief. But this tile here is now a quarry, so that provides us with 30 stonemason jobs. So they take 1 timber for tools and transport, and they exchange the timber effectively to produce stone. So we hover the stone on the top right, you can see the income per turn. So we're currently yielding, so gaining every turn 42 from our feudums, and we're spending 2 on upkeep. That generally tends to be the town. It takes a little bit of stone to upkeep, and we can see that here if we click the town, hover over stone. So the town has a passive income of 2 stone because it's on a hill tile, and it's also using 1 in upkeep. And I'm guessing the fief takes another stone upkeep. Yeah, there we go. So that's where the 2 stone is going. Because we have a positive, we're going to generate stone over the next X amount of turns. Okay, we're going to look at the unit roster, so we're going to get some scouts out. So click your town, hometown, click that. Click it until you see the command bar on the right, which is the feudum view. Then go down to rally troops on the bottom right, and we just need some urban militia so we can have a look around. And let's give them an archer as well. So they're queued up. Click confirm, and that will add the order to the queue for the town. So currently we're building a mine, so we're going to have to wait the 9 turns for the mine to be built before we get our troops, and then the troops take 2 turns each because the levies are quite quick to hire. But we do need to remember that this draws from the population in the town. With a small force is not generally a problem. We've got 230 pop. We're not quite at capacity for jobs. That does mean some jobs will not be filled, which you can see here, plus 29 jobs remaining to be filled. But it tends to be better to have a few jobs not filled to avoid unemployment than it is to just have too much population and support an unworking population. Okay, shortly we're going to show you how to expand into your next feudum, and that'll be this video complete. If you hold click, that will remove the HUD and you can have a look around at the explored map. You need to remember that obviously Fog of War is active, so while we can see around our own territory, we can't have up-to-date information on the rest of the map. If you click a hex that you can't see, on the card it'll tell you how long ago you had information on this hex. Okay, here we go. So we've got our first feudum. It's working fine. It's generating wood, it's generating food. It soon will be generating stone and iron. It's got enough population to fill all the jobs. You have a fief that's generating virtue, which is important for expanding. And the good thing about a fief is it also provides monks and scribes. So the monks will increase virtue generation, So they take food upkeep, which is fine because we've got a farm, and they will turn that food upkeep into virtue and social well-being, and quite importantly public health, which will allow you to sustain a bigger population. It also provides a few hunters, a few artisans and a few watchmen. The other important job in the fief, the church effectively, is priests. So priests take coins, not food. They don't get as much virtue, but they have a huge amount of social well-being, which just helps keep your population happy. Okay, so now that the first feudum's working fine, we're going to go ahead and create our second feudum to help with our expansion and ultimately to try and win the round. Here's the scorecard. If you click on the tab, check the world settings and victory conditions. There's 4 victory conditions, we'll go over them in the next video. So here we are. We quite like this land, there's nobody else competing for it. We've already arranged to have 5 tiles when we first start. So we're just going to go ahead and click the tile where we want our mana to be. So we're going to click this one here, which is 017, 010. Click that. And then on the right you'll have the Dominion view commands, because there's nothing else built here. There's no feudum active, there's no town active, no buildings, no enemy. So on the right, top right, we're going to create feudum. Click this. So it will automatically select the first tile that you clicked on, which is why we clicked that first. And then we're going to click add tiles, and we're just going to select the tiles that we've already claimed to add into our second feudum. Here you can enter a name. Let's just go ahead and add a name. You can randomly generate a name as well. Just click this dice. They are a bit random because they're colloquial names from medieval pre-name generator, but you can just choose your own, which we're going to do now just to give us a better reference. And it'll show you the cost on the bottom. So this is going to cost us 3,600 coins, 1,650 virtue, which you've got plenty of now because we left this overnight, and it's going to take 5 turns. So we're going to click confirm. Oh yeah, set the mana, apologies. So you have 2 icons here on the tiles you selected. The top one will be the first tile you selected. The hex will take you to the tile, and then the mana sign will allow you to designate the first building in that feudum. We tend to generally want to do another village, just because it gives us the population to work resource jobs immediately, which is a bit of a stronger choice than, say, a castle or a fief. So let's go ahead and click the designate tile as a mana. This will ask us to select what we want. So castle, we don't tend to do that unless there's a very aggressive expansion nearby. A fief is fine, but it's not really going to give you the population housing to reach max potential. So what we tend to do is start with a village. So click village, click confirm, and then on the bottom right make sure you send that command in. So in 10 turns it's going to create this feudum. So the base level for creating a feudum is 5 turns, but because we've increased the size to 5 immediately, it's going to take 10. So we're going to click that on the right. So it's going to take 150 timber, 3,790 gold coins, 1,650 virtue and 10 turns. The advantage here is that we're going to start with a bigger second feudum. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and then we will come back to how to set up our second feudum in the next video. Thanks.